I get out on lunchtime or I go in the morning early before and feel good during the day. And that's the best thing. So I love inspiring people, doing things that make people healthy and happy, being the leader by example.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the Champions Mojo podcast, where we bring you interviews and topics to help you live well and swim well. Conversations especially meaningful for masters swimmers and anyone striving to perform better in the water or in life. We're here to champion you. And now your host, Kelly Pallas.
We are doing an on-deck interview at the Bumpy Jones Classic meet in Sarasota, Florida. And it's a nice hot day today, 104 heat index. Water happened to be 83, but I am with my good friend and swimmer extraordinaire is what I'm going to call him, Andy Kroupa. And Andy, I know what team you are and how old you are and what you swim, but just share with our listeners your name, because maybe I didn't pronounce it exactly right, and your team and how old you are, and maybe start off with what you swam today.
Sure, Kelly. Good to see you, as always. This is the first long course meet of the season for me. I'm Andy Kroupa. I swim for Legends Masters Swim Club in Orlando, and I'm excited to be here. This is the one long course meet that I'm swimming all season, so it's go all in, right? So it's excited. I'm excited to be here.
Great. And we'll get to what you swam today, but I do want to talk about the Legends Masters Swim Club, right? Because it's LMSC, like Local Master Swim Committee, if you masters know that. But so you were one of the founders of Legends Master Swim Club, and tell us how that came about and who's kind of behind it, and maybe we can throw out a big name in there.
Sure. Yeah, so we started Legends right out of COVID. We got the name from Legends Swim Camp, is run by Rowdy Gaines. So we said Legends would be a perfect name for a master's club. So as the Y was winding down during COVID, we kind of said, okay, we're going to wind something up. And so we said, let's do Legends. So we got together, and as a larger group of Greater Orlando, we said, and we talked to Rowdy Gaines, and we talked to Scott Bay, who's the coach at Ormond Beach, and we said, let's do this. And we decided we're going to get together. We're going to get a group of people that form Legends. So we did the Auburn colors here with a little bit of Auburn, but also USA flag. So we said, let's get the group together, and we had over 50 people the first year sign up for us, and we swim in local meets as well as international and national meets. So I got back into Masters in 2011 because some of my friends decided they wanted to swim around Key West, my Swim Florida buddies. And they said, Andy, come down to Key West and let's do this together on a relay. And I said, I'm not in shape, guys, to do it, but I'll come down there and cheer you on and be your coach. And so I cheered them on, and they finished that relay, and it inspired me to come back and get in the pool in Orlando and start competing and start swimming regularly. So 15 years later, I'm still doing it, and I love it. It's the best thing that ever happened.
That's so cool and great. That's a great background. So there are basically three coaches over Legends, which is, shall we say it together, Brody Hines. We love Brody, right? Brody's in Dr. Phillips area, and you're in
Winter Park,
and then Scott's in Ormond.
Yeah.
So, all right. So when looking through your swim record, one of your best events that I see that just blows me away is a 100-meter long course fly in 106. That's just incredible. I can't do that freestyle all out. But tell us a little bit about your training. I see Brody's sets, and I don't know if you do those sets, but what is your best event or two? And then what is a set that you do that makes you excel at that?
That's a good question. I like the 200 butterfly. That's always been my event. So I just swam the 200-meter butterfly today, and I am 57 now, so I'm in the middle of the age group. So I'm always going at least one or two times a year the 200-meter fly, so I can maybe get a top 10, and it's always fun. So the way I swim in Winter Park, our pool is quite hot right now, so we're always battling that with the aquatic center. But we swim about 3,000 yards 4 days a week. So I swim Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Saturday. And so I try to fit in some fly at the end of some of the IM or even the freestyle sets, just so I can get that fly in there. One of the sets, I suppose we do it, and it's mixed. So we have a volunteer coach, Marilyn Nelson, who swam in college herself. So she does a great job of mixing up the workouts quite a bit. And I would say one of my favorites is 5-125s, where I'll go the last 25 fly, go a hard 100, and then go 25 fly, and then keep the interval pretty tight. So get about 30 seconds rest. That seems to work me out enough for that 200-meter fly.
The first 100 freestyle?
Yeah.
So it's a fast 100 free and then a 25 fly. Okay. One thing I was going to ask you, have you done fly turns in a flat wall versus the walls we have here, which have an open wall where you can put your hand in the gutter? Because the Olympians, it looks like they're just coming in on a flat wall. Do you notice a difference in those?
Yeah, I swam the flat wall in Seattle at the long course nationals last year for the first time, really. And that was a difference where you touch flat and then you churn. I prefer to grab the wall. But I had a really good time in that event last year. Maybe it was the pool, maybe it was the flat wall, maybe it was in the indoors and not as much heat as today.
Yeah, today was crazy. Okay, so your history of swimming, give us just a little bit, like, where did you start out and how did you end up in master swimming?
Yeah, I started at age 9 in South Dakota, Rapid City, South Dakota. One of my friends said, hey, let's go join the swim team at the local Y. So we rode our bikes down there, and I didn't know how to swim a lap of the pool. I didn't know any of the strokes. The first time I got in, the coach said, yeah, you better go learn some strokes before you join the team. But 3 months later, I guess I was pretty natural at it, because 3 months later, I was in the Junior Olympics swimming the 50 back and third in the state. So I was like, yeah, this is fun. I finally found my sport, because I went through a couple other sports and just average. So this felt good. And so I knew when I came to Florida later, my family moved down to Southwest Florida, that I wanted to find a place to swim. And that's when I turned into a butterflyer, when the coach said, we need a butterflyer for the relay. Andy, you're the guy. So it seemed like through age group, high school, and college, I swam at the University of Tampa, a D2 school, and I was 2 flyer there. And on the relay butterfly, I seemed to be the one that got lucky every time, and I was probably not the top flyer, good enough to be on that A relay, just good enough. Yeah, then I took a almost 20-year break after college.
So, University of Tampa and Jimmy Kiner, did you know that, of course, they just won the Division II Nationals?
Second year in a row. I swam there 3 years and went to nationals my third year, D2. Had such a great time, late 80s, early 90s. And a great group. The swimmers there, I love watching the D2 swimmers because they're right there. Of course, now they're a lot faster than we ever were back then. They're incredible swimmers. And so it's just great to see the growth of that school. The pool we had is no longer there, and they've got a whole new facility, and a lot of time and effort has been put into the program, and Jim has done an incredible job. And so I really love watching those swimmers and love to give it back to the program.
Yeah, we have been lucky enough to do a couple of masters workouts there in that new facility. And the first day we walked in there, I thought I was I had gone to swimming pool heaven. Have you seen it? Have you been in there? Have you swum in it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's covered around with queen palms all the way around it. And the sky all the skyscrapers are lit. It's so beautiful, so magical. 10 lanes. It's not 50 meters, but it is incredible. And Jimmy Kiner is one of the nicest people. And he runs a master's workout 5:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. So you need to drop in, swim with him. What do you do for your real life day? What does Andy Kroupa do for your job and kind of for fun?
Yeah, I work for a large company, Travelers Insurance. I manage a team of underwriters for workers' compensation. So from the office, right? I get out on lunchtime, or I go in the morning early before, and feel good during the day. And that's the best thing. So I love inspiring people, doing things that make people healthy and happy, being the leader by example.
I'm sure you inspire your team with your swimming. Okay, second to last question. What would be a top swimmer, dead or alive, male or female, if you could have lunch with them? Could be any swimmer anywhere, historic or current.
I'm going to say Missy Franklin, because I remember I was volunteer timer at the Nationals meet in Orlando that she was in, and she was in my lane. And when she finished her 100 back, she got out and she said, "Thank you for timing me." And I was like, "You're welcome." You never hear a swimmer say thank you for timing. And I thought, she's awesome. I'd love to have lunch with her. And she has a podcast now. I listen as well as your podcast, of course.
Of course,
Yeah.
Andy. Yeah, I love Unfiltered Waters. It's a great podcast. If you fellow swimmers haven't heard of it, of course you have, because it's the #1 swimming podcast. There are actually 120 swimming podcasts, and Unfiltered Waters just is #1 all the time. Of course, they interview all the Olympians. They got the connections. We were #1 in Norway this week. We've actually been #1, Champions Mojo, but we're usually in the top 10. I think we're the only master swimming podcast, so it's nice to talk to our fellow master swimmers. Okay, Andy, last question. Is there anything that I have not asked you that you would like to share with our listeners?
I'd like to say hello to my wife, Michelle, and she's a big supporter of what I do, and so happy when she's able to come see me swim. And my family, I love them. I have 2 boys. They're into more of the ball sports. They play tennis and golf quite a bit. They didn't get into the swimming like me. I'm really happy for them, and that's all. I just want to share a little bit about my family too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. All right. Thank you so much for being on Champions Mojo, Andy. And we will not see you at the meet tomorrow, but we'll see you at another meet soon. Thanks.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you for listening to the Champions Mojo podcast. Would you consider leaving us a 5-star review on Apple? That's like getting a best time for us. Kelly and our team would be so grateful. See you next week for another boost of mojo.